For a while on this channel, I was calling Thomas because he had no Latin flavor whatsoever. Cheryl is what the show wanted Tomas to be, and she hasn't even said anything Spanish yet because she actually has some seasoning to her. What is up, fellow Beyond the Gates fans? Here to talk about today's Tuesday episode of the show. Honestly, there was really only two of the stories today. The whole Dani, Andre, Bill, Hayley stuff on one side, and then the unfortunate Derek and Ashley stuff on the other. Although I will say that, much like the first time when Derek and Ashley broke up, Derek is much more easy to watch when he's not involved in an Ashley story. And I do kind of feel that way again. It is Ashley that is the character that is the problem. But we'll talk about them after. Let's start with the Dani and Bill and Hayley and Andre stuff today. We might as well start with Hayley, who is wanting more poison from Randy. She's supposed to be meeting Bill at the country club, and surprise, surprise, when Bill is there, Dani and Chelsea and Naomi are also there. Hayley and Randy are meeting in a new place. They're still meeting in public, even though, they're plotting a murder, but they're still meeting in public, but a different place, at least away from where Joey might be able to see them meeting. So I guess that's a step in the right direction. But with this whole poison stuff, the show has certainly been taking it slow, and they continue to dwell on that fact today that Randy got Hayley a slow poisoning to make Bill's death look as natural as possible. Hayley's wanting more poison because it doesn't even feel like the poison is working on Bill. He's not showing any signs, which is what I've been saying. I do think we will see the first signs of him being poisoned come Winterfest, whenever that is, here at the end of the year, I'm assuming. But yeah, she needs more poison. I don't know if Randy's going to get her quicker poison. I would like Randy to get her quicker poison so that the story can move along a little quicker, because it is kind of the weak point of the story. It's still my favorite story on the show, though. Not the poisoning, but the whole Bill, Dani, Andre, Hayley stuff. I do feel like it has the most layers of any story on the soap. And it continues to show that even today, when Hayley was able to get into Andre's head, because Andre ended up running into Hayley once Randy left. And they both realized that both Dani and Bill are at the country club right now. Hayley bringing up how those exes can't seem to ever stay away from each other. And as much as Hayley likes to try and blame Dani for that, clearly it is Bill right now, the one doing that. And that's what Andre sees. I liked that Hayley brought up the fact about the time when Dani told her that she's like a ride that Bill will never forget, and she's telling Andre that he's where she was 10 months ago, thinking that everything's gonna be fine in their relationship. They're newlyweds. The whole ex thing is not gonna be a problem, but they always seem to be drawn to each other. And I do think Hayley was able to get into Andre's head today. Hayley said that the next time Andre sees Bill and Dani together, either getting along or fighting, he should be his photographer self and take a picture and really look at that picture and see those two when they're together. Great lines by Hayley today in that conversation with Andre. Meanwhile, while that's happening, Dani is on a video call. Well, before Andre met with Hayley, Dani was on a video call with Andre. I did like Chelsea and Naomi teasing both of them about their not safe for work conversation on their video call, and then them teasing Andre by saying, "Hi, Dad," because that's their new, I guess, stepdad by marriage. That did make me laugh, though. So then Dani noticed Bill peeking in on them And Naomi saw a twinkle in Dani's eye again. Dani went to confront Bill about why he's lurking. He's saying he doesn't want to interrupt mother-daughter time, but the clear issue is that he's supposed to be meeting with Hayley, and that might just cause some issues. But then they did end up all sitting together, and we got some flashbacks of younger Dani and Bill, even though the actor and the actress that they had playing Dani and Bill in these flashbacks didn't look anything like them. But I'm kind of glad that they didn't have Dani and Bill trying to play their younger selves. I'm glad they actually spent a little money on some actors for one day. But they were just acting out scenes about a time when Bill and Dani were camping or on some sort of camping trip, because they were talking about Dani accidentally burning the turkey on Thanksgiving. It wasn't the first time she burnt something, though. She started a fire one time with a marshmallow when they were making s'mores and started a curtain on fire. And yeah, they were, of course, Bill and Dani were looking at each other with those twinkles in their eyes. And so Chelsea and Naomi talk alone, talking about how Dani was just talking up her honeymoon with Andre, but now their parents are acting like they used to. At one point, Chelsea was hoping for her parents to get back together early in that divorce. And Naomi's felt some kind of way about that situation with Bill and Hayley, because her and Hayley were friends and all that. But now it seems like Naomi is low-key hoping that Hayley can come up with something to keep Dani away from Bill for Dani's sake. Chelsea, of course, gives the line that she hopes it's something permanent without those characters knowing that Hayley is definitely planning a permanent end to Bill. But Andre ended up interrupting the Bill, Dani, and their daughter time. Andre was definitely feeling a little, I don't know if necessarily jealous, but he was definitely feeling some kind of way about Bill and Dani being together today after his conversation with Hayley, who got into his head. And then at one point at the end, Dani sent Bill over this marshmallow at the country club as a reminder to her story earlier, this little inside joke between them. And Dani told a worried Andre that she wants Andre not to worry about this whole Bill thing, even though Andre thinks she might be playing into Bill's hands again. So Andre and Dani kiss as Bill's watching on. Of course, Hayley sees Bill watching on and is not pleased with that. But I like the scenes today with all these characters. There are many layers to this story, and it has a lot of legs that even when Hayley's poisonings plot might be over, I don't think Bill's going to die. I think Bill's going to still be around to be in a triangle with Dani and Andre. And if they keep up this kind of writing for them with layers, I think it can be good for many months to come. Clearly, Dani is always back in Bill's orbit, and that is where they are again today, even though the points that Naomi and Chelsea were making were very accurate, that Dani seems very happy with Andre, but she always can't help but be drawn back to their father. And the show's doing a good job of showing us that. One note I do want to say about what the show didn't show us, I've been complaining about this the past few episodes, still annoyed that we didn't get to see Chelsea's Thanksgiving dinner with Madison and Madison's mom. With that happening off screen, I just don't know what the show expects from us to root for or want from the Chelsea and Madison story. But whatever, we had to hear about what happened at their Thanksgiving, even though we didn't get to see it. I would have rather they spent money on casting Madison's mom for one episode than these two younger people supposed to be playing a young Bill and Dani that look nothing like them. That would have been better money spent. Let's move on, though, to Derek and Jacob today. Derek's still with his walker, hanging out with Jacob at the bar. But some of Derek's old firefighter co-workers were there, including Cheryl, who is the cute co-worker of his that ended up kissing him a few episodes back, or several episodes back now, that he wasn't over Ashley yet, so he kind of didn't want that to take place in Ashley's apartment. The best part of, I guess, what's been happening with Derek and Ashley is that at least the writing has acknowledged the fact that Ashley was gaslighting Derek this whole time. This is actually a big step for the show, which, in my opinion, and I've said this a lot, the show likes to always play up the men bad and everything's the men's fault, even though we've seen for many, many months, really since the beginning of the show, that Ashley has been into Andre and that Ashley was gaslighting him these past few months. And she admitted a lot of that to her mom, Jan, today, admitting that she knew she didn't want to build a life with Derek, but she didn't want him to go through his ordeal of not being able to walk alone. So it's a big step that they actually have Ashley admitting to that, in my opinion. I think that's actually maybe a step in the right direction for the character. I still don't know where they go with Ashley from here, though. The character of Derek has more legs, especially with this potential romance with Cheryl, because I like the actress that plays Cheryl. She has great charisma. She is everything that Tomas is not. You know, for a while on this channel, I was calling Tomas Thomas because he had no Latin flavor whatsoever. Cheryl is what the show wanted Tomas to be, and she hasn't even said anything Spanish yet because she actually has some seasoning to her. So good on that casting, and it could be interesting for Derek and Cheryl if they have a decent storyline plan for them. Maybe the character of Derek has some legs, even if his legs still need a walker for now. But I liked the Derek, Jacob, and his friends scenes today. I think it helps the character of Derek be more viable, and Jacob learning about the fact that Cheryl came on to Derek and even kissed him. Then Cheryl came over touching up on Derek in this episode. So Jacob made he and Derek join the group, and Derek ended up sitting next to Cheryl. So steps in the right direction there, and maybe even a slight step in the right direction for Ashley, who, like I said, at least was able to be honest with her mom and herself about the whole her and Derek relationship. So, you know, today's episode maybe kind of low-key at times, but I enjoyed it mostly because I enjoyed the Dani, Bill, Andre, Hayley stuff. It is my favorite part of the show right now. The best story they have going, because they actually have layers to not just the characters, but even the plot has layers, in my opinion. So they're doing a fine job there, hoping for more of that for other stories going into the new year, because a lot of the stories could use better layering than what we've been getting as of late. And hoping that the rest of the week kind of, you know, picks up with some drama. Don't know when Winterfest is going to be, but I'm still assuming it's sometime this month. So I hope we're building to some good drama this month.